Hi all, this is a review of my sell trade on Bitcoin that I was looking to do on the 15 minutes. So the setup I saw on the 15 was very strong sellers coming down over here, and in this consolidation I saw that the sellers were actually making stronger moves than the buyers, so I thought the sellers still had the control. And especially after this sell move down and the slower move up by the buyers, I thought there may be a very good sell down over here, breaking these lows and going for even lower towards the daily targets. And so that was my idea and that was my thinking in the trade. But as we can see, it did not perform at all, and there were two clues for me to have number one, avoided this trade for the, and also even if I got into the trade, realized that it was not performing and gotten out. So I think the first clue was when I was in the trade, there were signs of it not performing. If I go down to the 3 minutes, just going down and waiting. So if I go down to the 3 minutes, right at this black line over here, I think there was a very clear sign that this trade was not performing so well, because in this whole section the sellers were making stronger moves and they seemed to have control by up to this point. And up to this point I thought the sellers were still building up their positions, but when the buyers came up over here and the sellers came it down, but not very strongly at all. And especially after this candle, which I saw happen live, it started off over here, went up and came back all the way down, which was initially a good thing to see, because that would have been that meant it was getting some sell liquidity from up here and coming all the way down. But the problem was it snapped right back up, meaning the sell liquidity from over here was not enough. Therefore, logic says that if you want to go lower, you would need a better sell price from this area. That was the logic. So that was the first clue, that the sellers were not going to perform this area, I think, and maybe I should have got it out after that clue, but I did not, because these sellers were still holding and they were not taken out. And I think this is where the second clue comes in, which was the whole higher time frame perspective for this thing. So on the 15 minutes it looks like very clear sellers down and slower buyers up, therefore it was like a good sell setup. But if you go to a higher time frame like the 4 hours or the 1 or the daily, then I just see waiting for it to load. Come on. Come on. Okay, if I see on the 4 hours, so if I see that this was a very strong sellers move down, some consolidation, and after this consolidation we have another strong sell down, and this move is holding for a longer period than, say, this consolidation. For this, of course, it's not as this consolidation is not as long as the consolidation over here, but the important point was this area was close to key support levels right here. key support levels right here. So that was the main clue for where we are too close to support. So sells may be tried if there is a good setup on the 15, which there was. So I think it was logical to try for the sell, but it was also logical with this bigger picture in mind to have cut sell sooner when I saw that it was not performing. So I think that was the main mistake, namely lack of higher time frame perspective, and that affected how I did not cut the sell sooner once I saw that it was not performing. So I think the good lesson in higher time frame perspective in mind, and that lower time frame setups can be played, but I would need to be stricter and be less tolerant for giving them time to perform if they're at a non-ideal higher time frame level. So that's all, and thanks, and comments and questions are very much welcome.